So you're trying to tell me that I can buy a house for cheap, turn around, resell that same house, collect a nice down payment, and make money monthly with this owner finance thing? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. What's up to all our winners out there? Thank you guys for tuning in. We're happy to have you. I'm Marcus, and I know what you're thinking. What the heck is Shakey? Well, Shakey and her friends decided to have a girls trip, so they're out in Cabo. She's been sending me pictures, so they're just having the time of our lives. I mean, that's one of the benefits of being a real estate investor. You get to live life on your own terms and do whatever the heck you want to do without having to answer to anybody. But before we get into today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell because we do post twice a week. Hit that like button if you got any value out of this one. And in this one, I want you guys to comment owner finance if you're feeling this strategy just as much as we are. So back to the video. So those things that we just talked about in the intro, that little teaser, is absolutely possible with owner finance. So we brought in Robert Kennon, who's like a super Jedi when it comes to owner finance and wholesaling, just to give his perspective, because that's something that he does all the time. It's a new investment strategy for us. So the winner circle, like everybody on the live stream learned a lot. We learned a lot, so much so that we're definitely going to start implementing the owner finance strategy in our business. So we just want to bring you guys a live stream. As always, we're just trying to find different people with like different perspectives, people that are killing it, give you guys as many options as we can. Definitely in this one, you want to stay to the end because he talks about different tools that he uses, different books that he's read to kind of learn how to do this strategy, how to learn how to like set the terms and everything. Definitely want to stay to the end because we also have a treat at the end. We're thinking about having like this mastermind. We're going to give you guys a couple details on that. So let's get to the video.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, winners. How y'all doing? I feel like it's been so long. I think last month we had it towards the beginning of the month, our live stream, but we couldn't quite get our lives together. Had some personal stuff going on. We apologize for that. We try not to let it get in the way of, you know, meeting with y'all and adding some value to y'all. But we promised y'all in the last live stream, these last 3 months of the year, we were going to be inviting other people in, and we're doing that to give y'all more perspective and insight on other areas of the business that we may not necessarily be doing, or, you know, just give others opinions and the way they do business within the real estate realm. So we have Robert Kennon here, and Robert is a dear friend of ours, and I'll let Marcus and Robert tell how they met. But Robert's been investing now for, what is it, 4 years, Robert? How long? 5 years. 5 years.
5 years.
Yes. And I'll let him tell his story, how he got started. But Marcus and Robert actually met first, and then we all started masterminding after that. And Robert's been so kind to meet up with us several times just to talk real estate, and we've become very good friends. So, Marcus, you want to tell them how y'all met?
Yeah, man. So we were at how it's called Capital Title now. Then it was called what was the name?
Heritage.
Yeah, that's it. So I think I was going in there to pick up a check, like an earnest money check or something like that. So I leave out, and you know, I'm going down the stairs, and I hear like do. So I'm looking up, I'm like, what the hell is that? And Robert come up behind me. He's like, hey, you know, I just want to give you my card. So I look at the card, and it says Home Vistas. I was like, oh, this boy, he's legit. Like you an investor. Like that's big time right there. So
that's hustle.
Yeah, I say Home Vistas, and they don't get no more legit than that. So I went to the house, and I was talking to Shakey about it. I messed around, had my card in my jeans, and they got washed. So I ended up finding, I had been looking for him. So I was like, man, I got to get in contact with this dude. So I ain't never met nobody from Home Investors before. So I ended up linking up with him on Facebook. And then, you know, of course, you know, investors get to talking. And so we decided to meet up. And, man, it's been on ever since, man. So, yeah, he got some insight to some marketing strategies that, you know, we don't typically use, but they work. We just hadn't gotten around to it, and he has more creative strategies that I know you guys are gonna love. So that's how we ended up meeting, man. It was crazy. Robert said, man, I gotta get some of that police money. And I said, man,
met you. But yeah, so that's how we met. So we'll just go into like, you know, how you got started, like what sparked your interest in real estate and all this stuff, and kind of just hear your story, how you got started.
Absolutely, man. And again, I thank you guys, man. I honor you guys for this opportunity. And you guys have been nothing but an inspiration since I met you guys. And that was a funny story how I met you, man, because my radars are always up.
Yeah.
Coming out the title company or going to the title company, hey, sir, hey, how you doing? You know, that's going to be me all day, you know, so I'm always trying to sell myself to see who you are so I can add value.
Right.
Yeah, man, but in the process, man, it's been 5 years that I've been in this business. This month made 5 years, glory to God. And I'm thankful, man, that it been many defeats that I was able to go through to learn, you know, to this day, what this business has done for my life. And I pretty much got started based off of idea, seeds that was planted way back then when I was incarcerated in federal prison. That's what gave me the inclination of this business, of the magnitude that it can provide, because I was around such brilliant other guys and it planted those seeds. And therefore, from there, it manifested when I got out. 2012, I started, went through a year and a half of temporary defeat until I found myself in this business. And pretty much that's where it took me to 5 years later to where I'm at today, giving honor and glory to God. So it's been a wonderful journey.
Right. Ooh. Absolutely. And so again, one of the main reasons why we wanted to bring you in, because we know you do business a little bit differently from us. And we know you focus more so on the owner finance as well as wholesaling side. And we just wanted to give people more insight and, you know, get an insight from someone that's a expert in our eyes in that area. So, you know, we can give information all day based on research, but you're out there actually doing it. Yep. And so we just wanted to, you know, you to add some value to them, you know, showing them how to get started with that and how you basically go about doing the owner finance deals.
Okay. Well, you know, owner finance tie in first from wholesaling. You know, wholesaling is what gives you the seed to be able to start doing owner finance. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Through the wealth of transactions that I have done, I had to find myself to get to the owner finance segment. Right. And shout out to one of my wonderful mentors, Landon, a guy that gave me the epiphany on owner finance and the magnitude that led me to meet this guy. That's the king of owner finance, and it's in this book. Mitch Stevens studied this guy like he was my dad.
Yeah, you
know what I'm saying?
Okay, go ahead.
And that book, based off all those principles, what gave me a different, and learning those strategies from this book and my mentor Landon gave me a different epiphany towards investing. You know what I'm saying? Wholesaling was just a seed to build my cash up. You know what I'm saying? Wholesaling is gonna always be a part of me, but it's other things outside of wholesaling that you want to start captivating to build wealth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to have cash flow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like monthly checks coming to me. You know,
right.
Right. You know, I like my lifestyle to be so.
Are we losing?
I pretty much want to, and when my eyes got open to owner finance, it opened up the epiphany that I can be the bank. You know what I'm saying? You know, because just think about it. If you go, anybody that's going to get a car, furniture, or whatever, first thing they talk about is owner finance or some type of terms. It's the same with the house situation. You know what I'm saying? The lenders are looking to be the bank in the situation as they hold in a note that you paying, and that's pretty much the side of what the owner finance is to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the bank, and I'm finding people in the perspective to give them a note, you know, in the perspective of one of my assets.
Right.
So man, just to start off, man, wholesaling is the root. If you learn wholesaling will take you to places to where I have, to different levels of this real estate business. You know what I'm saying? Most people want to come in and be a flipper. Most people want to come in and be a buy and hold. Most people want to come in and just straight wholesale, but wholesaling is the seed. If you master wholesaling, everything else is going to open for you.
Absolutely.
You know?
We say that a lot. We feel like everybody's getting started should at least do, a few wholesale deals, because it teaches you so much. It teaches you every aspect of the business without ever even having to own anything except for a contract.
Right.
And you can be so profitable from it, and not just on the money side, just knowledge.
Yep.
Because again, you go from getting, you have to do marketing first of all, so you have to master marketing, and then you have to go from marketing to talking to sellers, looking at properties, trying to estimate how much repairs are. Even though you're not the ones going to be doing the repairs, you need to know how much repairs are going to cost, because you're going to be selling to an end buyer. And then you get to go to the closing table without ever having your money put into it. So you get to go through the entire process without having, as much of a risk. Now, the risk for us, because, we like to do things the right way, is always, having someone's property tied up and then, having to find the end buyer. But that's not even a risk, because if you're doing your numbers right and everything, you'll always be able to move the property. So
absolutely,
your exit, even if your exit strategy changes, you
still
should be able to move it if you have it at a good price. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And just to expand on that, just to let the viewers know, wholesaling is 3 components. It's locating and negotiating with motivated sellers. It's locating and negotiating with motivated buyers.
Absolutely.
And the third one is creating a profitable transaction.
For everyone.
You know what I'm saying? That's the end piece to it. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And once you master those 3 concepts of those components, that will put you in the realm to learn the wholesale game. You know what I'm saying? And wholesaling, guys, is selling contracts. Meaning if Marcus stay in the house, he sees some of my marketing, one of my We Buy Houses signs, he called me. Hey man, I want to sell my house. I'd be like, okay, great, sir. Well, this and this, and we buy houses in the area. So Marcus is the seller, and I'm the guy he called my sign. So I'm setting up an appointment to come process Marcus to negotiate a wonderful deal to get it on the contract, with a purchase contract, so that I can take that purchase contract to the title company, right? So once I take that purchase contract to the title company, after I negotiated a good deal with Marcus, that allows me to bear to now go out and find other investors that would like to buy this same house, but at a higher price. I might got a price with Marcus at $80,000. I'm putting it out there to other investors for $95,000. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm doing is selling the contract to the end investor, and I'm making that middle piece. So if I got a contract with Marcus at 80, I'm selling to an investor at 95. He might come in and negotiate. Well, Robert, I can't do 95, man, based off the repairs and ARV. I can give you 90. Okay, great. Let's sign that up.
Right,
so
exactly.
So I'm signing that. I'm breaking that pen, signing that contract. Okay, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So in the process, that that's a create a profitable transaction. Now, Marcus at 80,000, the buyer at 90,000. What that makes? What I have $10,000.
Exactly.
Pieces together. That's all it is. You are the middleman. You just the resource to put the pieces together. You see what I'm saying? And when I did my first deal, man, I opened my eyes and said, "What?" So
yeah. That first year.
Man, that's the eye opener right there.
Yeah, right.
Knowledge,
right.
DNA.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the point we're trying to get a lot of people in the winner circle to that first deal.
Yeah.
And some of them have already gotten to the point or gotten really close before, but I feel like once you get that first deal, it's like you start getting that momentum, like, oh crap, it actually worked. Like, I feel like at first you already feel like it's gonna work because you wouldn't be doing it right, but once it actually works and you get that check or you get that wire to your account, like shit, it actually works. Like,
let's do that again.
Right, let's keep doing this over and over. Yeah. So yeah, we really love wholesaling, but you know, my baby is flipping, but wholesaling is just a means, like it's a vehicle to other areas within real estate, and I feel like it really always should start at wholesaling.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion, but I feel like anybody getting in the game and want to stay in it long term should start with some sort of wholesale deal.
Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely.
Right.
And I definitely agree on that.
Right. Yeah. So you talked about if Marcus was a seller and he called your sign. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about marketing, because one thing that we put out there, and I know you're not able to join all the time our live streams or whatever, but one thing we put out there, we don't do signs. We tried signs one time and it just did not work for us. So we do not promote signs. We don't even promote letters or postcards anymore. We go straight to the phones. So that's just our strategy. But we wanted, again, to bring people in and show people that different things work for different people. And that's what we found when we first got started, because we would talk to a lot of people who done a lot of networking, and people tell us different things, and we would wonder sometimes, was it the truth? And now seeing, you know, people that are successful like you, and then, you know, dealing with other people do different things in different ways, and it works out. It hits.
Yeah, all of it works.
Yeah, it all works. It's just, you know, the way you're going about doing it, the volume you're doing and everything. So are the signs your main component of marketing?
Well, you know, I used a wealth of different marketing components, but the signs are one of my dominant factors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I dominate that space. You know what I'm saying? That's something I take pride in, to dominate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's one of the components. But I use a array of other marketing strategies to provide me leads. But that's just one that I promote because I know how to. I went through a lot of trial and error to master that. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to. A lot of people are scared of, of rejection, of the police calling, the city calling, other haters in the area taking your signs down and stuff. I'm built to go through those things because so much have happened that it just gave me a pain freak mentality that I'm going to master these signs. I don't care what. Whoever don't like it, take my sign. You got other strategies around the counter for you. So that's how my mindset was.
Yeah,
right.
You gotta be.
Yeah, and I've seen you on Instagram post and stuff with the city on the call. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Like, and you're so nice to them when they call you. I'm like,
it's like they don't even know how to react to us. Like, I'm calling, to basically shut you down. Yeah, you're being nice to me. And he wins with that. Like, they don't even bother him. They're like, all right, have a nice day. I bet you that sign's still up though.
And the secret ingredients to that is that if you're doing signs, you don't want to use no Google Voice, man. That's, the city got a system that can put your number in and find out through your internet stuff. They can find out who you are because they found me out like that. So there's a system that you guys probably want to download tonight called CallRail. CallRail is a system that allows you to have multiple numbers. And those multiple numbers will give you different phone numbers to not use your phone number, but another virtual number to use to call your phone.
Wow.
That way you can disguise yourself in many forms.
I hope y'all wrote that down.
You said CallRail, like RAIL?
Yeah.
CallRail, CallRail.
Yeah. Okay. I was just, gonna post it up in the I guess I'll put it in the chat box right now. Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, that's very valuable because I've never even heard of it. Yes. Probably because we just said we gave up on signs. I cannot.
Yeah. When I see,
and you know what? Just to expand on that, you don't really got to use CallRail for signs. You can use it for direct mail marketing. Shout out to my boy Ricardo, direct mail marketing. Those boys are beasts. If you need direct mail marketing, they the guys to go to, and you can use these phone numbers from CallRail to position yourself to have a multiple. Now you can keep up with your marketing. You see what I'm saying? So if you got direct mail marketing, if you got door hangers, if you got bandit signs, if you got online ads, CallRail would be a good platform so that you can know where the marketing coming from and keeping up how many calls coming in.
Right.
Those variations of what that do. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. I'm able to keep up with all my calls, how many calls I'm getting in. And I use 3 different call rails because I do a lot of marketing, not only in Houston, but in other little, cities and stuff like that too.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah. I knew Robert was the truth, man. Speaking of, because you talked about his Instagram. One day I went on Instagram, this boy had a whole U-Haul. He was putting pallets of bandit signs up. I was like, God, now that's action. That's massive action right there, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Man, you know what, man? It took me a long time to build up because, that part was right there with some of my colleagues, but I've been, one of the things I take pride in that a lot of people want to take note of, every time I make a profit, I reinvest it. You know what I'm saying? Most people want to spend the profit. I reinvest the profits at all times. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, just to change the subject real fast.
No, go ahead.
I just want to share with the viewers to get them some value in the process. Everybody wholesaling, spend those checks like that. You be quick to, you know what I'm saying, what my mentor taught me. And shout out to Landon, man. This guy has been very valuable to me. I got to speak up on greatness. He taught me a lesson. He said, man, Robert, you can only wholesale so many. What's going to happen when the drought comes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When it's slow. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started putting my profits together, disciplining myself, not worried about the bling, the cars, and all the extra baloney stuff that's liabilities and lose value. I started creating my wholesaling that every time I wholesale by 3 or 4, I'm buying a house cash. I own that now.
Well,
Based on wholesaling, I ain't have to go to the bank or nothing. I got my own cash through wholesaling. I bought me a house, wholesale 3, turned around, wholesale 4 more. Then I bought me another house. You know what I'm saying? So I was just reinvesting those profits along the way. And that's what created me to go into owner finance with all the homes I own. I turned all my rentals over to owner finance. Now I don't have to fix no toilets, no lights. I don't got to worry about no taxes. Every month and can travel the world and do what I want, when I want, how I want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And I always say, I mean, who knows what the future holds, but I always say, right now at this point in my life, I cannot see myself being a landlord, like full on like that. But owner finance to me is very attractive in the sense that you don't have to fix anything. You don't have to come running every time something breaks because, because, you're not liable for that. You're just the bank, just like any other, somebody else paying the mortgage. Like, you don't go call the bank every time something breaks in your house. If you're the owner, you're fixing it. Yeah.
Hey, the bank ain't sweeping no garages or coming to fix no sockets.
Exactly. That's what's so cool about it. And then, with owner finance, just to go a little bit into it, I know, even though we haven't started owner finance yet, but you get the large down payments up front. So you somewhat recouping your money from the purchase on the front end side, and then you're still making the money monthly, and then you get to set terms according to what you want, or what you and the buyer agrees on, because it's yours. You're the bank. So that's what's very attractive about that process to me. And also, I know we talked about a little bit, and anyway, with owner finance, you still get to do some of the front end stuff, making stuff pretty, the part I like. So you get to, if you buy on a finance house and it needs some repairs on the front end, then you get to do some repairs and make things look nice in order for, your buyer to have a good product when they're moving in, even though you're not going to be fixing things along the way, just to get someone, a nice home, and you adding value to the neighborhood in that way.
Absolutely. So. And let me expand on that right there. That's going to blow your mind. Me, Robert Kennon, have never fixed up an owner finance house.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Okay.
Shout out to my wonderful Hispanic community. Love you guys because you know why? People see value in things that's not shiny. You see what I'm saying? Dominate because if I buy a house, I buy a ton of houses in my communities of the lower demographics where I come from. So in the process of me buying these homes, instead of me have to be flippers, I flip too with my private lenders and things like that. But in the process, on a finance house, I buy it at a wonderful price, clean it up, cut the yard, clean it out, and therefore I put a marketing campaign together, and that creates motivation because it's a lot of people would rather come in and fix up their own home, get in at a less payment than have to go through the bank because a lot of people are so fearful of the bank. There's a lot of people got mattress money that would love to fix up their home and they love to create it the way, and they got it in at that home at a different price point than have to go through pre-approvals and credit and bank finance, and the banks they discourage you in the process. So in that essence of that creates a person to come in. If I got a $60,000 home, you can get in this home at $6,500. Now you can fix it up how you want or whatever you want to do, and that creates more equity in the property for the homeowner. You see what I'm saying? So I never fixed up a house in my life using owner finance. That's why I love it. Instead of having, yes. Instead of me having 40 or 50,000 sitting in the bank, I'm trying to find a house because that interest at the bank is 0.1, ain't collecting you nothing. So I'd rather spend my 50,000 sitting in the bank. Now I bought a house for 50. Now I got 800 or 900 coming in a month off my 50,000 instead of sitting in the bank, and I'm only getting $16 at the end of the year.
Right.
You know
That's true.
Absolutely.
Man,
see how the thought
thought
process is different with people. I'm sitting here thinking about how to make it nice when I could be buying other properties with that money and letting them add value to their own property by fixing it up. That's nice. Wow. Interesting thought process. So I want to talk about one more thing, and then I want to leave the last 30 minutes. I knew this is going to be one of our larger streams for a few questions from people within the Winner Circle and others that we have joining us. It's one of our largest ones. I'm excited.
I know, right? Looking at all these participants, like, man.
I know. So I want to talk about where you're taking your business in the future and what's some of your future plans?
Well, man, thankful. Thanks to God, man. This vision that I have, a lot of people look for the accolades and to be, this all on these social platforms. That's not what I'm about. It's never about impressing. It's to press upon that it's possible. And my purpose is something that was given to me before I even got in this business, and I didn't understand it. So one of my purposes is to put a lot of people in position first so that I can get the things I want. And I'm building a phenomenal team of strategic alliance partners to help me put this purpose together. And we have other cities we're going to be tapping other cities, other hoods, soon. So that's what we got in preparation. And, man, it's just to build this seed so that, the next generation will benefit from what I'm doing. So that's what I'm positioning myself for the future. Every day, I know a lot of people see me on Instagram and different times. I'm just sharing my life how it come. I ain't got time to be trying to, impress nobody. It's just pure motivation of what I have to do for me to stay in perspective so that I can give back something in perspective. Because, you could be doing good, but you gotta, let the people know that it's working. You know what I'm saying? So that's my philosophies. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I plan. Well, that's not what we already in preparation of other ventures and things like that. But owner finance, and let me just expand on this. Owner finance is powerful when you can use more of other people's money, because that's what gives you the power to buy more houses. And I got some fantastic private lenders that believe in my vision and my talents, and that's what makes me have more buying power to dominate spaces. You know, because if I'm using my cash, I'm gonna use it up in this. I gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? That's why I dominate the wholesale, so I can keep my cash on deck. You know what I'm saying? So now a house come up in my hood for $30,000, I find that with my own cash. I don't want to use nobody's money. I'm buying that.
Right.
Now I create a note, and that note just keeps me cash flow. Now that paid my house, that paid my truck note, whatever. If I had a house note, a truck note, that pays all those bills, and that keeps me afloat. And my wholesale is profit, my flips are profit, the apartments, all the other things are profit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's where I'm at with mine.
Yeah, and you said a lot of things that are very important. You shouted out your mentor several times. Having a mentor is so important in every industry and anything you're trying to do. Yep. I feel like when you have a mentor, I know when you have a mentor, it allows you to skip steps within the process because your mentor have already gone through it, right? Yep. So learn from other people. Also, having that team behind you. You say you have awesome private lenders. You have an awesome team that you're building. Teams are so important. Partnerships are so important, especially within this business, because you don't have to own everything. You can delegate. You can, you can create more wealth. You can expand more when you have partnerships and people and teams behind you. Like you said, you're able to buy more because you have that wonderful team behind you. So that is so very much so important. We know that from personal experience.
We're out here, we're team building as well. We saw the value in it. So now we're getting more social, going to more events, we're meeting and talking to more people just to build up that network, because that your network, that's important.
Right. And he also said something else that, Robert, you said something else that was very interesting. I guess I never even really noticed it. I mean, I watch you on Instagram every day. I watch all of your stories, but you're not out here flashing, fancy cars when I know you can afford all this stuff, but you're using your money as a vehicle to do something even greater, to add more value to other people in the future. And so that's where you really see greatness. That's the story of people that are written in history, like, people that add value to other people. So we really commend you for that. And I guess I never really noticed it, but for sure, I know I see you within the process every day. And it's processing. But that's Robert's word, y'all. If y'all not familiar with Robert. Me and Marcus, sometimes we walk in the door from work or whatever, like processing. I've been processing today.
Man, as soon as you hit that door, it's game time, man. It's time to go to work.
So yeah, we appreciate that within you. We appreciate you for joining us and add value to our circle on tonight. We thank you for that. So anything else you want to add, Robert, before we open up the...
Man, thank you guys. You guys are so wonderful. Your energy is vibrant, it's embracing. You could tell fake people. I mastered the 48 Laws of Power and several other books to learn and read people. And you guys are genuine. You guys are people that I'm proud to say you my friends. And I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you as well, brother.
Absolutely, man. And honestly, man, Marcus, I'm envy of you, man, because you got a soulmate that can help you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? That's a man dream right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Something that I'm lacking in the perspective, but it's all in due time. But you have a woman that know the questions and answers when you don't know. That's powerful. So I commend you guys.
I appreciate
we
that.
Whatever. We have a permanent partnership over here. Look, permanent.
Yes, I got it.
We really are partners in life and partners in business, and it really is something special. But
we got you, man. Hopefully when we pop off this ski trip, this real estate.
I'm ready.
Mastermind,
man. That's gonna be our next one. If you want to come out and get some wonderful questions, man, we got the ski trip to go to, man.
For sure. We're putting some together. We're thinking February, March of 2019. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna put out details sometime within the month of November, giving people enough time to plan.
Yep.
So winners, we would love for y'all to join us on our real estate investing ski trip. So
I want my mastermind with everybody. Just just trying to put something nice together so we can all help each other level up, man. That's what it's all about.
And have fun at the same time.
Yeah,
why not?
It's fun to level up.
Look, I want to expand on one thing before I leave, before we go to question and answer. Okay, anybody that's watching this, say this humbly, but you got a guy that was an ex-drug dealer who had to come into this business not knowing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's no excuse for you. It's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? I've been shot 8 times. I've been through the worst pain of in my life, going through federal prison, several violations, came in this business with no money. You know what I'm saying? Captivated me to become who I am. You know what I'm saying? I ain't start with a dime. Thanks to my mom. And I want to shout out to my wonderful ex-wife. You know, she played a role in it, you know what I'm saying, in the process. But I started this business all with just persistence, you know what I'm saying? And that's what captivated me to think this way. As a drug dealer, I thought as, materialistic things that didn't hold value. Now my mind is on wealth. You know what I'm saying? I want true value. I want cash flow. I want, you know what I'm saying? If I go, somewhere and if I decide to start real estate, I want to have something coming in that's going to take care of me. That's what changed my mindset. Everything's about mindset in this business. So if you fall forward, take action, surround yourself with great people, man, anything is possible with God.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Man.
Amazing.
That boy Robert, man, that's my dude, man. All right.
Amazing.
Open up for questions.
Yeah, sure. So with all that being said, we hope y'all have gained a ton of value from Robert. We want to open up the floor to questions for the remaining 25 minutes or so. So that's a lot of questions. So for any questions y'all have for us or Robert or anyone else in the group, or if y'all want to share a story, on, y'all been out there doing real estate, investing, taking action.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing your story. It's so inspiring. Oh, Kelly said, thank you for sharing. It's very inspiring.
Oh, my wonderful Kelly, a capital title. She the best.
Oh,
best.
Not that Kelly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was. I got a Kelly from.
No, I think this is Kelly Dunaway, our realtor. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Maybe that Kelly. I mean,
how you doing, Kelly?
Both Kellys are very wonderful. I will say that.
Absolutely, you're right about that.
So if y'all have a question, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and ask. What? Oh.
Okay, so we got a question in. Can you see the chat?
Mm-hmm.
So hypothetically, with owner finance, how do you deal with that if they begin to default?
If they begin to default, what from the seller or the person you own the finance to?
I'm thinking he's saying from the person you own the finance to.
Well, you have to take in consideration foreclosing on the person if they don't honor the variables and the terms and the conditions. You foreclose on those people and you line it up to find another person as well, just how you found him.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Got another one?
Sergio. How do you own and finance all those properties? Do you buy them cash?
Yes, all of them about cash. You can still own finance properties without buying them cash. You can set up terms with the seller in the process of that, But my goal is that I want to create the front end to get that out the way so I can be, that's my asset. And now I create that note for 10, 15, 20 years down the lane.
Right.
So,
right. Right.
So he's saying so you can, I guess make sure I get this right. So you can own a finance from the seller and then turn around and own a finance to somebody else?
Yes.
Okay.
You can.
Nice.
Got it.
Okay. So are you selling the deed to them? I think what Daniel and Christian are asking are they not owners of the deed, or are you? Do you?
After the note is done.
After the note is done. Okay.
Yeah. So you still own the deed until they pay off.
title will get transferred to their name.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Let's see.
Do you do door knocking?
Absolutely. That's one of my babies right there.
Yeah. You gotta be door knocking, man.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Coming from the hood, man, you know, man, that's how you get things done, you know. And even though I have, you know, financially put myself in another position, I still hustle like I got in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I see you out there door knocking all the time.
Yeah.
So are you charging a small percentage? I'm not sure about that question, Shane. Shane, you can unmute yourself if you want and exit.
Hold on, let me see if I can go to Shane and unmute. All right, Shane, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I was trying to figure out with the owner financing on Robert's properties, is he getting like a small percentage like a bank would do traditionally, or is it just if he's selling it to him for $60,000, they're just paying that $60,000 out?
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha. All right, gotcha.
So the down payment. Repeat that question again. So
Okay, hold on. Let me unmute him again. Hold on.
I want to make sure that I'm gaining the concept of what he's saying.
Okay, actually, I don't have to unmute him. I understand what he was asking. He's asking if you own the financing from the seller for $60,000, are you then in turn on the financing it to the buyer for the same 60, or are you making a percentage like annually off of it?
Oh, okay, great. Okay, if you getting the owner finance from the seller, and you setting up terms, and you getting it for 60, you want to change the terms when you're selling it to the buyer. You know what I'm saying? You want to try to sell it to the buyer at 75,000 now. So
Right. Right.
In the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So and Tiffany said he means interest. So even at the 75,000, are you doing like a interest rate for them, or is it 0% interest? Or, okay.
Absolutely. 10%, 11.5%. You know, you want to start at 12 to kind of have some negotiation room.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's typical.
Okay. So Vanessa asked, Jaime said that's how he'll get his first property, or that's how he got his first property. So
door knocking.
Okay.
Good on you.
Awesome, Jaime. Vanessa says, so you're not doing any repairs for owner finance properties at all?
No repairs. I haven't. This far, I haven't done no repairs, and that's what.
That is mind blowing. That is amazing. I mean,
let me show you an example. I just bought a house. Well, it's at the title company right now where I just got a deal in. I'm buying it for $74,000, right? Turn around and owner financing and not touching it for $130,000.
Oh,
$15,000 down.
Oh my goodness! How much down?
$15,000 down.
Wow.
Not touching the house at all.
That is like as much as I love fixing up houses. Now that's even better than like anything. Like
yeah, no, God.
I love. Hey man, y'all better go get this book, man. My Life in 1,000 Houses, The Art of Owner Finance.
I haven't read that one. We need to go ahead and read that one as well.
Definitely.
Amazing. Shane said that's a powerful move, good deal. And Vanessa said, I need some of them. Tiffany put a shocked emoji. Samson Martin, maybe Martin, I don't know. Said great book. What's the name of the book? Let's put it in the group chat. Let's see.
My Life in 1,000 Houses, The Art of Owner Finance.
Hold on, type it slow. All right.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did you get your first deal?
My first deal, I partnered with another wholesaler, and I made $4,000 my first deal.
That's exactly what we done.
Yep, exactly.
On the first deal, because I'm an action taker, right? So we started doing letters, and before we even got a buyer's list, I put those letters out there. I said, if I get a house under contract, I'm going to be able to sell it. I wasn't worried about a buyer's list. So I put it under contract. We had been dealing with Marlon. We actually did our first deal with Marlon. And I say, Marlon, hey, we got this house under contract. Can you help us sell it? Yeah, sure.
And jump. He's like, heck yeah.
And we got in the contract for $16,000. We sold for $32,000. Us and Marlon, we split it $8,000 a piece, though. Made $8,000 off our first wholesale deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with JB, do you split 50-50? Or do you currently JB with anybody? We've never had that conversation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I do a wealth of JVs.
Okay.
If you got a deal, I love the JV deals. That's part of the process. That's how I started my first deal. Why not do it again?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa want to talk terms. She want to know, do you do 50-50?
Well, it just depends on the circumstance.
It does. And people think that's just an answer that people give, but it really does depend on the circumstance and the deal.
Yeah. Because a lot of stuff be a little extra. And you want to value the person that's an expert in something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had to humble myself to learn that concept. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm open. You know what I'm saying? You just you got to be open to stuff, because some people like, how you gonna get that? And sometimes you gotta bend a little to learn something. You might gotta take 40 on this deal. It probably your deal, but you might gotta take 40 to humble yourself to get the deal closed. Because you know what I'm saying, a lot of people lose deals like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want 50, I want 60. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the abundant mindset to see things through. So once you learn from that, now you can go and do your 100% deals yourself.
Right. Yeah. You have to realize without my 60%, it's going to equal zero for you in the end,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep. Hamid said one of the books that changed his life was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So if y'all haven't heard of that one, that is actually a great book. Put that on your reading list.
Oh, yeah.
Vanessa said if she bring the house, she may need a buyer. Oh, she said, sorry, when she bring a house, she may need a buyer. So.
Absolutely. However we can add value, that's what we do.
Awesome. Well, Vanessa, you know to send that house to us first, right? No,
you stay with the loyalty first.
Oh man, we all one, man.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot operate out of scarcity at all. Any other questions? Tiffany says she's down for the ski trip for sure.
All right, Tiffany. We'll see you and Steven. Definitely see both of you guys there.
Steffen for me. I always want to call him Steffen.
My name is Steven.
That's wonderful, man. That's going to be an exciting trip right there to be in the snow. I ain't never been in the snow, so I look forward to this trip for real.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Y'all got any more? Any more coming?
We still got 15 minutes. Y'all better take advantage. Take yourself off mute if you can't type that fast. Okay. So Daniel wants to know, have you ever double closed, and when would you ever have to do that?
Double close for what? Owner finance?
I guess anything. We've never double closed.
No, I double close several wholesale deals. I do that a lot because some deals I make 30,000. Off one deal, my highest deal was like 54,000 off of wholesale. So I have, you could do a transaction funding for the process to close at the same time. So the buyer won't see what you're getting, or your seller won't know what you're getting. Because if you go to the title company and do a deal, somebody got to see how much you get paid, either the seller or the buyer.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to see how much you get paid if you're getting 15, 20,000? I don't want nobody to see that. I'm trying to keep that on, bro. Hey, I had a deal in the beginning of my journey that I was making 20,000, and at the closing table, the seller signed, man, the buyer seen I was getting 20,000 and stopped the deal, man. Stopped the deal at the closing table, and that wrecked my life because I was like, my emotions was into that deal.
Yeah.
This dude did not close that deal.
Wow. Similar story happened to us.
Dang,
It wasn't 20,000. I think we were making 13. Small, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a big deal. And what happened was we're going to get back to y'all's question. I just want to tell this story. And I recently told it. And Robert, I don't know if you remember, I called you and asked you about something similar recently.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I put the deal under contract with this lady. I had bill report with her, and she told me, because I'd done business with her before, she said, if you can get this closed for me in a week, I'll let you have it for 5,000 less than what you had for. So I had it at 8 already. Yeah, at 8. But if I can get it closed in less than a week, I can make 13 off of it. So found a buyer within a day or two. And so we, I had already put it in with title. So we heading to the closing table. And when they sent out the HUD, the buyer was like, oh, I thought you had it for this price.
Wow.
I did, but I negotiated a better price. He didn't want to close either. He made me come down on the price. And I was like, I would never in my life do that again.
Yep.
I would never let someone have control over my deal.
Yeah.
I should have just went out and found another buyer because I was going to be making the same amount anyway. I shouldn't have let him have it. But
yeah, you learn. I think that was only like our second or third deal.
Yeah.
So,
I said I would never let that happen to me again. But you have to stay in control of your deals.
Absolutely. That was the best lesson for you to learn, because now you know. If you don't
right.
go, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a good lesson because, when it happened recently, when I had to call you and I was like, that happened to me before, I'm not with people that try to boss up and control my deal. Like, no, I'm bringing you value by bringing you a property that you wouldn't necessarily have.
Yep.
So,
we ended up finding a buyer the same day.
For even more than what he was trying to pay. So, anyway, hope that answered your question, Daniel. So, Robert does double closing when he's making a large amount on the wholesale deal. We normally make anywhere between 5, sometimes now 5 to, because the market is getting so tight, 5 to 15,000 on our wholesale deal. So, anything beyond that, we're most likely flipping it. Sergio wants to know, do you do email marketing?
Email, direct mail marketing, yes, I do that.
Okay.
Yes.
When is the best time to do door knocking or calls? Vanessa wants to know.
The way I do mine is very strategic. I only go after tax foreclosed homes that's about to go to the tax foreclosure. So those are very motivated leads. So it's a time when the list come out, I'm on it. It's not a date, because if you're trying to pick a day, what's the right day, you'll never go. You'll just be
Yeah. Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I will say I strategically try to do afternoons.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are working, and if I'm door knocking, I'll either go during lunchtime or I go in the afternoons, try to catch those people as they're coming home or whatever. For door knocking and phone calls. But phone calls, you pretty much want to be making your phone calls all day, and you'll eventually get them. What are criteria for tax or foreclosure? What is the criteria for tax or foreclosure?
Well, the criteria as far as finding the list.
I'm not sure. Let's take Vanessa off.
I wonder, is she trying to see, what's the deal or what's not?
Go ahead, Vanessa.
Yeah, sorry about that. So when I've been looking for leads, on the different district clerk sites and the Harris County sites, you can find, houses that have tax issues from only 2017, and they may only have maybe $2,000 that they owe. Or are you going after the properties that owe $5,000 or more, $10,000 or more? Is it multiple years that they have back taxes, or what's the criteria that you look for exactly whenever you're saying that that's a hot lead or it's a good lead?
Well, it's really no criteria. It's just that I personally gonna go on a house that have $10,000 or more in taxes. That's where I know that's a little challenge for them to pay.
Absolutely.
Anytime the tax foreclosure coming up is 2 weeks before the foreclosure, and I got a fantastic title companies that can help me immediately stop those in that 2 weeks time span. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I stopped one in 3 days right before the tax foreclosure.
Yeah.
So those variables are very detrimental when you're going after those. You know, you got to. One thing about the tax foreclosure before the list come out 2 weeks before the tax foreclosure. So strategic, have some money set to the side or some powerful buyers, because you ain't gonna have time to be trying to go on Craigslist and market and this and this. That's where your buy game got to be in position at for the tax foreclosure, because you got to close on them immediately. Ain't no waiting and trying to find a buyer. You got to already know what perspective it's gonna be in.
Right. Okay. Hope that answered your question, Vanessa. I think that was a great answer, actually. Sergio wants to know, how do you approach someone in pre-foreclosure, or how do you start a conversation with someone going into pre-foreclosure?
Hey, sir, how you doing? My name is Robert. I was just, me and my colleague was in the area, man, and we just, bought 2 houses around the corner, and we seen that, through the Harris County site, you guys was, in some good difficulties, and we want to see if it's something that we can add some value to, sir. Is that possible?
Absolutely. That's a perfect example.
He went straight in. He makes no
right. That's what we teach. You get straight to it. You let them know who you are. You let them know why you're there talking to them. But you never want to use the word foreclosure, is what I learned.
Nope.
Don't use that word. That actually pisses people off. So even though they know they're going through foreclosure, they don't want to hear that they on the foreclosure list.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't use that word.
Yeah. People associate with pain, and you don't want to give them that pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And by you saying difficulties, it let them know that you're there to solve a problem for them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, any other? We have about right at 5 more minutes. We'll take 2 more questions. I know. If you don't want to type it out, you can absolutely unmute yourself and go ahead and say it. Somebody. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And in your opinion, what's the good amount of cash to have saved up before you start your first flip?
You know what? That's a question that, it's never be enough for you to do a flip, because your money can only do so much. Because if you say I'm gonna save 100,000, what if the house costs 75 and you got to put 40 into it? You know what I'm saying? You don't have enough cash. So it's best to build your resources along your wholesaler to go talk to a wealth of hard money people. And why you I started wholesaling a bunch of houses. That's how I converted private lenders. So you got to find other people, because you'll never have enough money to just say I'm gonna do my first flip. You don't want to use your own money to do no flip. First of all, you know what I'm saying? Unless you got some extra. If you just saved 100 and you trying to do a flip, man, I pray that you make it. Everything tied up. You gotta call your cousin and your mama to borrow some rent money, because she's all tied up.
Yeah.
You want to leverage everything as far as not trying to off your own cash, unless you got a smoking good deal and you got the money sitting up in one of your 3 bank accounts you got sitting up here.
Right. And we can speak from personal experience on that. You never want to use your own money. You, like Robert said, you will end up having to borrow from people. But if you use those resources ahead of time before you even get into that first flip, you'll end up with a good product, and you won't be all stressed out within the process.
So I guess we can kind of.
But it also depends on. So even if you have all those resources in play, if you have your hard money lender, you have everything lined up, and you have some extra money saved up as well, it's also going to depend on what kind of deal it is, and how much the deal is costing you, what kind of interest rate you have with your hard money lender, and things like that. A lot of things come into play when you're talking about doing a flip, and that's why we recommend everybody starting off with a wholesale deal, because you do get to see everything from another person's perspective without having so much skin in the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in layman's terms, so if you say you do find, someone to lend you at least want to have enough to be able to go to close and close on the property. And if you're like Hardman, because I know Hardman lenders, they like to do your rehab and draw. So you at least got to cover your closing costs and you got to cover that first draw. So let's say your rehab is like 30,000. They split it into sections of 10. You at least got to have that closing cost in their first 10.
And you need to have your holding costs as well. I would suggest having 6 months of holding that. Well, really, your hard money lender is going to look for that anyway when they go through approval process for you. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable. So again, with that, talking about holding costs, talking about the points your lender is going to charge you, all of that depends on how much the deal is, because those costs look a lot different from a $50,000 house to a $100,000 house.
Yeah.
Like it varies so much. So you really need to think about that and make sure you have that money saved up, and because it will stress you out if you have this flip going on and you don't have enough money to get to that next draw with your contract. You don't have enough money to get to the next payment with your lender. That will stress you out. You will never want to do another flip in your life.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're comfortable.
Even if you because you can find gap funders to kind of fill in those gaps, but you still got to pay them too.
Exactly, and that eats into your bottom line when you go to sell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I hope that kind of gave you a good answer on how to, because you got your hard money, private money, you got gap funders, so the money is out there. But
so we're not avoiding trying to give you an extra number. It is really gonna, because if we give you, say you have to have $10,000, you can do a flip with $10,000, but you can't do a $200,000 flip with only $10,000.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
I mean, it's not gonna happen. So anyway, just want to thank you all for joining us. We're right at the 8:30 mark. Oh wait, can we?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it up in the group. You know what? I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put it in the group.
We said we weren't putting our live streams on YouTube anymore. They don't get as many views, but we'll go ahead and put it on YouTube so y'all could take a look at it later. We want to thank Robert again.
Absolutely.
And so much value. We learned a lot tonight about owner finance. We talk to Robert all the time, but we don't go into this much, into this depth of his business, because we're talking about how to add value to you guys when we meet. We're talking about how we're going to move on to that next step. So, and we're not necessarily right now operating within that owner finance realm. So, we learned a lot. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for being who you are, to the Winner Circle and just to the world in general. You add so much value within yourself and your team. Thank you.
How can people shout you out, man? Like, how can people reach you? Like, if somebody want to. I'm talking about like social media and stuff like that.
You know what, man? Just tap on the Robert Kennon, man. Robert Kennon. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever.
Put his Instagram
hold on
down there.
I'm about to put y'all. So somebody asked for information on the group and some other stuff. So we're gonna y'all stick around for a little bit. Kind of bear with us. We're gonna start putting links to all of that stuff. So I do realize that some people are on the live stream that aren't a part of the Winner Circle. So if you guys want to, be able to rewind this and, check out our YouTube and stuff like that.
And then add his Instagram.
So I'm gonna add. So that first link is the Facebook group. I'm about to add his Instagram. Hold on, really quick, y'all bear with me.
And make sure you go follow Robert. Robert posts every day. Watch his stories. He's adding stories every day, and it's value stories. It's not, fancy cars, traveling all the time. He's showing you his processing. So you can learn a lot just through that, because it's videos every day. The start of the morning, Robert's up. At least I see you at least 6 o'clock every day, at least.
Yep.
So
just been systematic for a long time, so that's the way I'm built like that. So I definitely appreciate you guys. You guys give me a sense of just want to expand and look for that that soulmate that can help me go farther, because every man needs that mate and every woman needs that mate. You know what I'm saying? And two is powerful. So I see you guys is a very inspiration to me, and I thank you guys.
Man, we appreciate you.
We appreciate it.
I'm telling you, we got you.
Yeah.
We got you on that. You know how Shakey like to play matchmaker.
Hey, that's everybody. We'll talk about that during our next dinner. Anyways, thank you guys so much. See you next month. Have any questions, reach out. Go follow Robert. Go join the Winner's Circle. Go sign up for our free course. See you next month.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.